that everyone is very safe and you and your family are very well. Number two, we would like to welcome you back for those who were on PTO, because as you know that end of July we closed our financial year at Cisco, and we started the new year. Some of us were on vacation, some of us were traveling wherever that's permitted. The third thing is that for those who celebrate the holidays, we wish you a very happy holiday and a very late happy Eid and Eid Mubarak. So today, inshallah, I, Osama Azobi, the Cisco Middle East and Africa Chief Technology Officer, and my partner, Dr. Mohammed Smadi, will be taking you through some of the applications that are very critical. And first, I will go through a few slides where I will share a few highlights that will be very important and setting the stage as we talk about a very critical and important application on how we use data analytics and apply artificial intelligence in order for us to realize the benefit of location-based services and how that can really create tremendous value as well as very positive impact for the digital business. So I am Osama Zobi, as I mentioned, and I lead the engineering team at Cisco, the innovation team at Cisco, and I have been working with the private sector, public sector, small and large businesses across the entire region for quite some times, driving digital transformation. I don't know, Dr. Mohammed, if you'd like to just do a very small introduction. This way I will kick it with the just a few highlights, key points, and then we can move forward with the specific applications.
Thanks, Osama. Assalamu alaikum, everyone. This is Mohammed Smadi, Managing Director of Penguin. We are a partner of Cisco focused on building location-based services on top of the Cisco platform. And I have with me here May Aqil, who's our product manager. And we will be talking to you today about application of location services, specifically for the new norm at the workplace. Back to you, Osama.
Excellent. Thank you so much, Dr. Mohammed. Really appreciate it. Definitely, it's a great pleasure, team, to welcome you today to this very important event. I just wanted to, so we will spend the majority of the time today and this event on specifically the application-based services and how we at Cisco, as well as our Penguin partners, how we are taking really the capabilities that we have in technology to a whole new level that are enabling businesses to overcome the challenges. But before I do that, I just want to start by saying that for a few years, technology has created tremendous disruption for us. And until end of 2019, that was really truly accelerated and fueled by many technology trends, as many of you know, whether it's the data analytics, artificial intelligence, Wi-Fi 6, 5G, IoT, blockchain, big data, cloud, etc., etc. And then something happened towards the end of 2019. A very unfortunate thing happened at the end of 2019, and COVID-19 hit the majority of the world. And we pray to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to bring safety and peace to the world very soon. And that unfortunate event really put government, private, public sector, as well as businesses under massive and tremendous pressure. But something else happened at the same time, that not only the acceleration that we saw during the past few years all the way towards the end of 2019, that pandemic actually accelerated that even further at an exponential speed, to a point where some of those businesses realized and found that they really need to move their digital transformation journeys that they were building at a much faster pace and much faster speed. Historically, the CIOs and the CX level, they were actually under tremendous pressure. But now what is happening is that the majority of those CXOs, primarily represented by the CIOs, they are actually being measured based on business outcome. And as I mentioned, and as many of you know and aware, that the technology trends and the industry trends are really putting those businesses under tremendous pressure. And as I mentioned, this very unfortunate event has put that pressure even, exerted even bigger pressure and accelerated the speed at which businesses they needed to transform. But many of those still are absolutely real, and they are still under these pressures. Probably we can even add a lot more to it, to a point where just a couple of months ago, there was a survey that's conducted in the US where more than 75% of businesses and organizations stated that now, due to the pandemic, will actually accelerate their digital transformation journey at a much higher speed. So we at Cisco, along with our partners that are actually taking technology and really driving it to a whole new level, like our partner on the call today, Penguin, is that what is our philosophy? How are we trying to help those businesses to really enable digital transformation? It's really very simple. Enabling any user using any device on any network to reach any application at any time efficiently and effectively. Now, this is really, is really a lot easier said than done, but definitely digital business is absolutely requiring that we move towards that, enabling automation, enabling that IT truly moves at the speed of the business and delivering on those requirements. And if we just use the pandemic and what we have experienced over the past few months, those businesses who were ready with this kind of transformation, they were actually, or I would say that those who moved with digital transformation, they were actually ready to cope with the massive pressure that came at them. Like we mentioned, some of those businesses, they needed to move from 0 remote work to almost 100% remote work with no time. And again, me sitting here at home and having my video unit and having my laptop and having connectivity and being able to really do full productivity, again, is definitely a requirement, is a great thing to have, but it's absolutely complex to accomplish. So our philosophy is that how do we bring a true partnership that we deliver on enabling any user using any device on any network to reach any application at any time securely and effectively. So we at Cisco have 4 pillars for our technical strategy, which we call the multi-domain architecture, which builds based on 4 pillars. Number 1 is we must be able to provide end-to-end security that is truly adequate security to cope with these, because now the service attack has increased. Now it's not anymore a perimeter within a building or a location that I need to secure. It's really everywhere. I need to follow the data wherever it is, and I also need to follow the user wherever he or she is, being able to provide security. Reimagining the application, and how do we really provide the capability, the automation, the application visibility, and the right efficiency and capability for those applications, and then transforming the infrastructure end to end. And now infrastructure is really wherever those users and wherever those devices exist. Again, it's not really confined within a boundary of location. And finally, empowering the team, just like we us having this event, with capitalizing on the use of data and data analytics, artificial intelligence, enabling mobility, social communication, cloud, and IoT. I just want to shed some light, and I'm almost done with my quick introduction. Security is imperative, and when we look at digital transformation, when we look at enabling location-based services, when we look at enabling remote work, when we look at coping with the new norm, security is paramount, and therefore really providing the adequate security that is end-to-end, a security that's really follow the data and secure the data, security that follows the device and secure the device, enabling that end-to-end capability with true local and global visibility to really provide layer security, to provide defense in depth, to really provide those capability. It's really a cornerstone for enabling digital transformation. Again, empowering the team and enabling that kind of communication where we provide, the calling, the meeting, and the team collaboration is very critical. I just want to close that, with that entire infrastructure that I mentioned, the vision and the philosophy that, we at Cisco believe in enabling any user using any device on any network to reach any application securely and efficiently. But furthermore, we are really opening up and inviting, our customers and our partners and our ecosystem partners to really drive an accelerated innovation on the innovation platform across all our product portfolio. And here is that today we have one of those great examples where we have a partners like Penguin, where, Dr. Mohammed and his entire team, where they took those innovation capability to a whole new level, enabling intelligent location-based services to cope with the new norm. So that's really my introduction. With that, I would like to hand over to Dr. Mohammed to take us through the, a specific application around location-based services and how do we drive that intelligently. Dr. Mohammed, over to you. You're on mute.
Yeah, can you hear us now?
Yes.
And can you see our screen or May's screen?
No, you have not shared yet. You need to share. You have not shared yet.
Shadin, I think you need to make me a presenter.
You can just click on share and you will be able to share. You don't need.
I don't need chat.
Yeah.
Share. Yeah.
Absolutely. Yes. Now we can see it. Yes.
Yeah. Let's just go here. Just following up with what Osama was describing, Bill Gates in a recent interview was asked a question about to describe one of his failures, and he said the greatest mistake ever was Microsoft losing to Android. Basically, that's a $400 billion industry that would have been transferred from company G to company M, and primarily the drive behind that answer was the loss of the mobile application space, which is to be estimated at 50% of that $400 billion. So today's smartphones are much, much more than a communication platform. They're a computing platform, they're a social platform, they're an entertainment, a gamification platform. And people have realized that, the initial smartphones, Blackberries and Nokias, could be made much more into just a phone. And very similarly, networks are and can be made much more than a connectivity pipeline. And this is what's impressive about Cisco's vision to take the network beyond connectivity, to offer things on top of the network, specifically network-based applications. It's really a very interesting and peculiar vision, because network infrastructure is a de facto of today's enterprise. Users and facility terminals like phones, laptops, wearables, IoT sensors are attached to the network. And the network exposes user and sensor behavior, connectivity information, configuration data to third-party app developers over APIs. And Cisco has been a pioneer of defining APIs for their network. And they actually believe so much in this vision that what we're seeing is they're adding additional radios to support this trend and to enrich the applications. For example, BLE, the Bluetooth Low Energy radio, over to the existing Wi-Fi access point. But this results in really two things, the way we see it. Is one, advanced IT solutions. So we're taking the IT solutions to the next level. And two is it's allowing app developers to create apps as business solutions to other stakeholders within the organizations, which otherwise would not have been made possible. So now a connectivity salesperson, somebody who's selling Cisco gear, or an IT manager inside a company, they're working together to offer business solutions to stakeholders within organizations. For example, they're approaching the HR manager with an automated attendance solution that sits on top of the Cisco infrastructure. They're offering a marketing manager at the retail organization to offer mobile applications with directory-based services and location-based messaging to promote their venue. They're offering the patient experience director at hospitals to gauge wait times over the existing Wi-Fi infrastructure, which ordinarily would have been used just as a pipeline, which is actually very interesting. To that effect, there are really two product lines which we see Cisco have launched in this area. The first of which is Cisco DNA Spaces, which is really meant for the standalone Cisco Wi-Fi access points. And it's built for the Wi-Fi infrastructure. Cisco DNA Spaces is really a unified location cloud that takes input from multiple sensors and processes. Okay? And so you've got this Wi-Fi infrastructure that's coming from Cisco, and you've got a lot of phones connected to it, a lot of laptops. Maybe the facility manager has even connected some of the sensors, the HVAC sensors and whatnot over that. And now Cisco does a lot of crunching in Cisco DNA Spaces and then avails the location, which is accurate to a certain level, to people like us, to help digitize the physical space and help customers learn more about people and things within their properties. Cisco went to the extent of defining something called an independent software vendor, which is just like us, who are working with them and leveraging their APIs to build and deliver business class outcomes. Meraki also took this to the next level. They actually created the so-called Meraki Marketplace. So today, think of the Google Play Store, the Apple Store, and now there is a Meraki App Store where you could actually browse a catalog of apps and download and test these apps from an app store that is intended for your Meraki network. I think we can probably click on it, yes. And this will take us to, this is an app store. It's a Meraki app store. If I want to go, it's called the Marketplace. So let's say that you want to search for, you are a marketing manager or an IT manager at a venue trying to do wayfinding. You want the wayfinding solution. So you search for the wayfinding, and here you go. You find several vendors which are certified by Meraki to work over the existing Meraki infrastructure. And the keyword here is existing. So you click on Penguin In, and you've got a complete description of the product, and then you could actually reach out to request a demo. This is actually very interesting because you've already invested in the infrastructure. You don't have to deploy additional infrastructure. It's already there for you. So this is great vision. We believe we have subscribed to this vision and we've invested with this vision. So how does Penguin In fit in? We're a software development house. We write software and develop software and algorithms for IoT and digital transformation. We're recognized by Cisco and Meraki as a technology partner and as an independent software vendor. We build vertical specific indoor positioning and tracking solutions. This statement is really meant for the partners out there. This is what we do. We understand, we work with you and your clients to understand the vertical specific requirements and how we can leverage our own indoor positioning and tracking solution with the Cisco infrastructure and the Meraki APIs to deliver a joint offering that improves the return on investment on the existing infrastructure with easy to enable enterprise applications. ISVs, independent software vendors, and Penguin In, we future-proof the network. So if you invested X in the network and you just meant it for a pipeline, because you have the API and because it's software programmable, now you are future-proofed against unexpected use cases. For example, the new norm at the workplace. And in the remainder of this presentation, we will be describing how someone can leverage their existing infrastructure from Cisco or Meraki to build use cases for the new norm after COVID-19. So After the lockdowns has happened, we realized it was awesome for the first few weeks, and then but people need to go back to work. Working remotely isn't necessarily for everybody, and governments have recognized that, and they mandated certain guidelines that need to be followed, such as having a new maximum occupancy limits, contact tracing, and contactless check-in and check-out. We're seeing a lot of requirements, a lot of RFPs around this. Now, the challenge is, how do you satisfy these guidelines with the minimum cost infrastructure and while satisfying or minimizing the impact on the user experience? I now will leave you in the capable hands of our product manager to showcase some of the examples that we've built over the Cisco infrastructure and how those can be applied to the new norm. May, floor over to you.
Hello, everybody. This is May. In the next few slides, I will give you an overview of some solutions or applications that were extended here in PenguinN to adapt to the new norm. As we all know that contact-based biometric devices were deprecated or suspended in some countries and are not recommended to be used in others to prevent the spread of the virus. That's why the need for automated attendance solution has arisen. PenguinN automated attendance solution offers a contactless alternative to these devices, and it can log the attendance of employees from the moment they arrive to work seamlessly. A key differentiator of our system that it can leverage existing Cisco infrastructure. This makes it easy to deploy for small businesses or large enterprises. So how this happens, Cisco beacons chirp a signal to Pentag mobile application, which in turn communicates with our cloud to log or capture the information of attendance. In other scenarios where mobile application is not an option, we can use tags that assign to employees, which in turn communicate with our cloud over the Cisco BLE gateways. Let's go through a demo for automated attendance web portal. First thing you do is log in with your credentials here. We have a dashboard that presents information about the organization. The venues are located on the map. We have information about the infrastructure in the venues, the departments. We have also charts that shows the attendance rates. This dashboard is fully customizable and to cover the customer's needs. We have here venues where you can add new venues or just view the already defined venues. You can go to floor, add floor, upload maps. Then when I click on a particular floor, it will take me to the setup page where I can drag and drop, place the infrastructure available to simulate the physical environment in the venue. These beacons are already imported using a beacon management module where you can use a CSV file to import beacon or add them one by one. We have a nice feature here to detect and present the battery levels of the beacons and filter upon them. You can add also departments and register your employees' information in the system, adding them also one by one, or extracting the information by integration with HR systems. After registering the employees' information, they will automatically receive email or with their credentials to log in to Pentag mobile application. Then their attendance will be logged. We have different types of reports, such as presence reports, where you can have a list view of employees that are currently in the office. At any time, you can click on the map view and track the location of the employees on the map. We have another type of reports also, which is attendance, where you can specify a period of time to generate the reports with check-in, out, and total leave hours. Going back to our slides.
So basically, what's interesting about this, if May will allow me to intervene, is, for example, going to floors here. Floor information can be imported from the Cisco or the Meraki infrastructure over Cisco Meraki APIs. Similarly, the beacons information and the location on the map, which is already annotated in the IT infrastructure provided by Cisco, can be imported and leveraged by our platform. Moving on to the next slide. I think May wants to go here.
Okay, another application that is part of our response to COVID-19 new norm is hot desking. Hot desking is a new concept in the area of workplace management. Our solution allows employees to reserve, book, or reschedule their desks. And in the meanwhile, facility operators have control over which workspaces are available to employees to book them. A smart hot desking platform may automatically make workspace recommendations based on several factors, such as the employee profile, present team members in a certain floor or zone, and the calendar. With the new norm, our solution can be extended to cover use cases that related to the new guidelines, as will be mentioned during this demo. What's really interesting to be mentioned here is that we offer a unified content management system. The same core functionalities and modules we saw before in the automated attendance web portal is shown here, but with some customization or additional features to support hot desking solution. Also, we have here the dashboard with the elements describing the number of reserved desks. We have heat maps, charts to show the average number of booked desks. After defining the venues, we can go to floors where after we uploading the map, you can add desks in the map, then you draw zones. You can specify the maximum allowed occupancy for each zone, which we will see its application later on. The administrator of the web portal can manage the desks and fence off some desks to ensure that social distancing is maintained. So these desks showing in red color will not be available for employees to be booked. We have here a live view where we can track the employees in real time. As we saw, there are 2 employees who entered the zone. Then we received a notification that in zone 3, the capacity exceeded the limit, and which can also be defined according to the guidelines specified by the facility manager.
So this is rather interesting because it shows the same content management system, which is built on top of the Cisco and Meraki APIs. And in the first incident, the first example, we show how we can apply that to do automated attendance. And then with further customization of over the same APIs, same infrastructure, we could do a different use case altogether, which is hot desking, and then applied the COVID-19 social distancing guidelines on the hot desking. And now all of a sudden it's a brand new use case. And I think we will be showing one more.
Yes. The last application I will talk about is visitor management and tracking. This solution is designed to provide a complete visitor management and tracking experience. We offer off-site and on-site registration, real-time tracking of visitors' location. This platform also offers the feature of unauthorized access detection based on the visit location and route. Any access to restricted areas will be detected and alerts can be sent to concerned persons to act. For the new norm, this solution also can be extended to provide contactless check-in and out, and the information can be stored for other use cases like contact tracing.
So we see here yet another example of how Cisco DNA Spaces and the Meraki APIs can be applied. So we've got the classical visitor management platforms, but we're seeing a lot of interest in visitor tracking. And really, there are many applications for visitor tracking. In addition to contact tracing that we live in today, contactless check-in. So if you arrive at a particular office or a particular space and you would like to you already have an appointment, the kiosk available in the reception could check you in automatically without actually having to talk to anybody. In addition, provides facility managers, it's a security tool effectively. You are very familiar with who went into your building, where they went. You could have a breadcrumb view of the places they visited, which is quite important depending on the type of enterprise or the type of office you have. Anything else, May, you want to talk about?
No, thank you all for listening.
Yeah, and this is what we have to present today. I mean, it's just that we've talked about the Cisco vision as we understand it, the concept of APIs, and how we integrated these APIs to build several use cases, particularly for the COVID-19 situation. And we presented some solutions like automated attendance, visitor tracking, and hot desking. And we are eager to answer any of your questions. Some questions have trickled in over the email and over the private chat message. So, but we'll have the floor open in case anybody will like to raise their hand and ask questions.
Thank you so much, Dr. Mohammed and May, for a great presentation. I really appreciate it. We are definitely very honored with this great partnership. Team, we are not that large of an audience on the call. If you like to really speak up, you can just unmute yourself and go ahead and ask your questions. I'm not sure if you're seeing questions that you would like to address, Dr. Mohammed. Please go ahead. But team, the floor is open, it's yours. You can just unmute and ask your questions.
Yeah, we have some few questions have trickled through the private chat with May here. First question is, every time we talk about use cases with Cisco DNA Spaces, it seems to be RTLS related. Are there any additional use cases? I think the short answer specifically about Cisco DNA Spaces is yes, but as relevant for Penguin, we specialize in indoor positioning and indoor tracking. So our use cases are built on top of RTLS positioning engine that we have built in built and integrated the Cisco DNA Spaces with. I'll take another question. Is your solution cloud-based? This is actually a tricky question because initially, when we built our solution, yes, it was intended for the cloud. However, as we continue to focus on the GCC and specifically KSA, what we're noticing is there is a lot of reluctance from customers to move their solution or to move their data on the cloud. And we've adopted accordingly, and now we have the flexibility of offering it either on the cloud on-prem. Mind you that when we do move it on-prem, the scalability and the stability of the solution and availability becomes the concern of the customers' IT, not necessarily ourselves, because we don't have control over that piece. We have a question from Suhail here.
Yeah,
Suhail?
hi. Thank you, gentlemen. I think the presentation was really nice. Gave us a good insight about what all use cases could be leveraged or could be extended for customers who might have a specific requirement. However, my question is related to the fact that is Penguin can only be leveraged on Cisco Meraki platform, or is there a use case scenario where, let's say, the end users does not have Cisco access point, but definitely the chances are definitely higher that he would have Cisco access points because of the market share that you guys command. But what if a scenario where it has other makes of access points? Can we leverage Penguin on that, on those hardware points?
So there are three types of deployments. There is the Cisco type of deployment with Cisco or Meraki, and the answer is we leverage the existing infrastructure. If the customer doesn't have any infrastructure, we can either recommend Cisco or install our own infrastructure, which is fairly inexpensive in a sense that it's BLE gateways, off-the-shelf BLE gateways, and BLE beacons. And in some scenarios that we have worked with is you come and they have a Cisco infrastructure, but it's not dense enough to provide the required accuracy. So we can actually start to add our own infrastructure. So it's a mix and match scenario.
Got it. So I understand as if there is, sorry, go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah, and we could also, I mean, I know probably the Cisco folks wouldn't necessarily love this message, but I mean, we're an independent software vendor at the end of the day, and we look after the benefit of the client. So we have worked with scenarios where we've had Cisco provide, say, 50-60% of the in large scale deployments. We're talking about 2,000 access points plus in the same location. Cisco is providing 60-70% of the access points, and then other vendors providing 30 or 40% of the access points. And then the customer wants additional density, and we provide those. So we mix and match, and our engine sits on top of it. May has actually, I've asked May to, in anticipation, I've asked May to prepare a couple of slides. If you look at the following figure, let's say this is Cisco infrastructure, okay? And now with this kind of infrastructure, we can provide presence detection, okay? Because it's very thin density.
Okay.
Now we can, let's say that the customer wants, this is in healthcare specifically, wants to control access control for the doors by defining geofences, right? So we can add our own infrastructure right at the door, right? So everywhere it's Cisco infrastructure except at the door, we want to make sure that we have very high granularity, very good resolution. So we place those close to the doors, May? And if they want room level accuracy, we'll provide a lot more. So this is a scenario to provide defined location. So it's a mix and match of different types of infrastructure.
Got it. So what you're saying is having a Cisco infrastructure always helps in reducing the cost of maybe the cost of deploying additional hardware. So you can leverage those access points and then build up on that depending upon what is the accuracy level for the tracking to happen, right?
True. Mind you, today, I mean, Cisco has published RTLS capable Wi-Fi deployment guideline, right?
Got it.
So if the customer has deployed for other use cases like VoIP or data, it is likely to have a much thinner density. If they've deployed for RTLS, that would most likely be good enough.
BLE enabled gateways, I would assume, isn't it?
Yes.
Got it. Access point, sorry.
Yes. Yeah.
Got it. All right. Clear. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you, guys.
There's a question here that states, does accuracy degrade over time? This actually has been a challenge for the entire RTLS industry, which is basically you deploy a system and it's fully functional on day one. 6 months later, the system's accuracy is not where it's supposed to be, or where it's not where it was at initialization time, and then the system becomes orphaned. We offer our solution as a managed service. Truly, the RF propagation is a funny piece of science, right? And changes over time. People change location of furniture, and then all of a sudden the RF quote unquote fingerprint has changed. And this is where having the software tool chain to ensure that over time we're continuously taking references and evolving our algorithms to continue to deliver the accuracy that the customer has subscribed for initially. So yes, the accuracy degrades over time, but we have software tools to deal with that. Software tools and managed services to deal with that. Okay. Any more questions? Okay.
So on that note, do we need to have a periodic recalibration kind of thing, which needs to happen?
It depends on the use case. If we're talking about indoor wayfinding, we're striving to have some like 2 meter accuracy.
Yeah.
The answer is yes, that would help, and it's actually built into our pricing structure. If you're talking about zone level accuracy, for example, some of the visitor tracking requirement is just a floor level, then the answer would be no.
Got it.
Okay. Okay. Awesome. Any more questions before we wrap up? Okay. Osama, thank you very much for agreeing to co-host this with us. It's been a pleasure. It's been a pleasure, being with you in the same webinar, and it's been a pleasure working with the Cisco folks. A solid platform, solid support, and thanks for all of our customers for showing up today. And inshallah, we will have a lot of wins together.
Inshallah. Thank you so much, Dr. Mohammed. Thank you very much, team. Thank you so much for joining us today. I hope you found it very useful. We are absolutely available and ready to help you and support you in any way we can. We wish you all the best, and please be safe. With that, we conclude the session. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah.
Wa alaikum assalam. Thank you. Thank you, guys.